Hey everybody, Wayne here. In today's Let's Play, we're going to play through a complete scenario of Scream, Aim, Fire, a solitaire tactical level war game set during World War II in the Western theater after the D-Day landings. This game is designed by Jay Kirkpatrick and published by Tiny Battle Publishing. I'm going to do a quick little overview of the game itself, kind of how it works, but really the meat of the tutorial will be during the playthrough, right? So as I start, my usual, I'll really explain everything, extensively as I run through the first turn. And as we get into the second and later turns, I'll explain things less and less until hopefully we're flowing pretty quick. So I hope to get through a complete scenario. I should be able to. I will explain all of that during the overview. So let's go ahead and jump over to that. All right, so Scream, Aim, Fire is a tactical level solo game. And it is hex and counter, as you can see. So the game has two facets to it. So you will play as the Americans, the AI system will play as the Germans. During your turn, what you're going to do, you set up all your actions based on these dice. You're going to roll either 5 or 6 dice. There's 5 is the normal, and then there's 6 for an optional rule. You roll these dice, and that's how you generate orders. Depending on what you roll, either a number by itself or a combination of numbers is going to give you different orders that you can use. Now, not every turn is every die roll number going to be useful to you. So some turns you're going to be issuing less orders than other turns. This really shows kind of the chaos of battle and the ability of, okay, I can do certain things, but I can't do everything I want, right? And that is a common feature of solitaire war games. You often are limited on kind of the choices you can make. I think partially this is the design so that you're not able to overwhelm the AI, because AI is generally not too smart in most of these solitaire board games. So in this one, so besides the orders that you have for your side, right? So you're gonna be using your orders, activating different units, and you're gonna have things like infantry, tanks, mortars. We take a look at the units here quick. Super simple. So here we have a couple infantry. The idea is that on these infantry, and obviously you have the Americans, you have the Germans here. Top right is an identifier for the Americans, so that would just be that it's, unit number 3. In the top right, when it's the Germans, that is the unit that they're going to try to go after if it's on the board. In this case, for the German, the M means he goes after the mortar. It also could be, any number, including, say, the number 3, which means he'd go after him. The numbers here we have are going to be the range of their fire. So on the right side, the top number, so the 3 and the 3, that's the range of their fire, counted in hexes. You have their movement, 4 for the Americans, only 2 for the Germans. And then over here on the left-hand side, you can see that 4+ and 5+. Those are going to basically be the 2 hit numbers. So when you're attacking that unit, when you're firing at that unit, you're going to roll, and you're going to be trying to get to that number or higher, depending on terrain modifiers, which often come into play, especially for the Germans, but also if you play it right and you play it smart, often for your soldiers as well. Now, that's it. There's more to how works with tanks and with mortars, but we'll cover that when we actually get to that part of the game. So I showed you the units. I showed you how the order system works. Now, when you have the Germans, basically what you're going to be doing is each turn, you're going to be running through, you're going to check all the infantry. You're going to check the MG42, the machine gun unit here. And then you're going to check for any German tanks that are on the board. With the infantry, what you're doing, very simple. You have these action cards here. You're going to flip one over. And depending on their status, so a unit that's just chilling like this, now that's a MG42 machine gun, he wouldn't do it. So it'd be, one of these infantry here. So say this infantry is here. You check their status. If there's nothing on him, he's under calm, and it would tell you, okay, no action, or it might say move up to 1 hex, fire if in range, change to alert if unit fired, etc. Alert are these counters, status counters, alert on one side, panic on the other, and so obviously you can see calm, alert, panic, pretty self-explanatory on what action you're gonna assign to that unit. Remember, the top right is gonna tell you what American unit they're gonna kind of be gunning for, pun intended, but it may be that they also then instead go for an adjacent unit. It just kind of depends, kind of part of the game. And the game rulebook and player aid does a decent job of explaining exactly kind of the order of what they're going to be looking for. So your goal with the scenarios generally, so it's you're the Americans, Germans are normally going to be kind of on the defensive here. It's going to be usually you have to capture, say, this particular scenario I've set up. We're going to be playing scenario 1. You have the objective location here, and then you have this morale and reserve score up here, the track. You're going to want to be moving that up as you eliminate German units. It goes up and up. I believe in this scenario, it's going to be we have to have a unit on the objective, and we have to have at least a minimum of 40 morale. At the end of the turn, if we're able to do that, we win. If the game goes 12 turns and we haven't achieved those victory objectives, we lose. So I believe that covers all the basics. We're going to go into it, obviously, in depth as we play, and we're going to be going through it and explaining everything as we go. So I think it's time. Let's dive into the actual playthrough. All right, let's dive into this playthrough here. So, very beginning of the sequence of play. So, it's turn 1 here. Remember, we want to get the objective, and we need to get our morale up and have those 2 combinations for us to win. So, American turn, first step, it's the enemy spotted check. Every turn you do this, if there are 5 or less German units on the map, you're going to roll in on a chart that's in the rulebook, and it's going to tell you how many reinforcements the Germans are going to get. The reinforcements are going to pop up immediately. You see this kind of red hex here. They're going to pop up in it and around it. So starting on this scenario setup, and I'll just explain quick. You can see we have some infantry units over here. You can stack 2 units, infantry units in a hex. We have infantry, a veteran infantry, and I have my first lieutenant. He's very important in the game as well. I have him stacked with a veteran down here. And then you can see I have a M4 Sherman tank here, and I have my mortar unit up here. For the Germans, they have their machine gun unit placed here in a woods hex. And then they have 2 Panzer IVs. Now they're going to get, because remember 5 or less, there's only 3, they're going to get some unit reinforcements here. So we go ahead and, very simple, you just have a 1d6 roll. Let's go ahead and roll. It's a gray die for the Germans, and I'll have green for Americans, and then kind of the blue and white for the orders generally. So a 4. So we check our chart quick. Rolled a 4. That's 4 German infantry and 3 German veterans. So grab them. 4 infantry, 3 veterans. And what you do, you start assigning them a position around here. You guys can probably see, hopefully you can. There's numbers on here, and then there's an X. Very simple. Roll for the first veteran, roll a 4, put him on the 4. Roll for the next veteran, 5, put him on the 5. And you'll just continue that. If you end up with a spot that already has a unit on it, you will move it first to the X location. Which looks like a first 1 for this infantry. 5, we already have a veteran there. So we'll move them up to the X. Excuse me. Then you go ahead and roll again, keep doing it. And what you do at this point would be you start filling in the smaller or the lowest number position available. So we don't have to roll because we have 3 units left. It'll be the 1, the 2, and then the 3. So it actually fills them out nicely there. So perfect. All right, that is the enemy spotted check step on the American turn. Now we go to order phase. So here's the heart of the game, at least when it comes to our units. So we're going to roll our 5d6. All right, so we got, what I would like to do is set them out here so you can kind of see them, and it allows me to look at what my orders are available. So different numbers have different things. I have the chart popping up for you guys, and I'll continue to do that throughout the game through the video here so that you guys can see, exactly what options are available. Just a quick rundown though. So starting at the high numbers, working our way down. The 6s you can see, and just so you can help you read the chart as well, if you have double 6s, you have boxcars, you can do a sniper fire or a spot. Now, we don't even have a sniper unit in this scenario, so 2 6s is a waste. With 1 6, you can do a covering fire, which is you would fire with 1 unit, and then an adjacent unit could move up to 2 hexes. 3 is infantry move and fire. 2 is infantry move or fire. And then a 1 would either be an attach a medic, or if you have 2-1, snake eyes, you can assault into an adjacent hex. So looking at what we got right now, I would say couple things we probably want to do. Let's go ahead and a key part of this too, and don't let me forget to tell you this and do it because we're going to do it every turn, is you can adjust 1 die roll, 1 space, either higher or lower. So in this case, let's see, the 6s are kind of a waste, the 1 is a waste. I do want to get our tanks moving. So what we're going to do is we're going to change one of these 6s to a 5. Now the 6 here by itself, a covering fire, we're not going to be able to do any covering fire that I can see. No, because there's no, if you can't do the fire, then you can't do the movement as well. So it's kind of wasted right now. Unfortunately, it's wasted this turn. And I mentioned that in my intro, is that you're not going to be able to use every order, every turn, unfortunately. Sometimes it's kind of situational on what works and what doesn't. So same thing with the 1, because all we could do would be an attached medic, which no one has any panic or anything. So we're going to go ahead and discard that as well, set it aside. Now we got ones we can use here. So let's go ahead first with this 5. Let's use this 5 to activate our tank. Our tank here, he can move 2 hexes. He can't enter woods, he can't enter buildings. So he basically will stay in all these clear areas. Let's get him moving towards the objective. Keep in mind we have Panzers here. I don't want him to get too close to him yet, because he'll open fire on him, because the Panzer tank is going to activate every turn. Ours we can only do when we have a roll 5. So let's go ahead and move him. Let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, that'll be good. So move him 2 hexes. And I like to put a little white marker on them to show they have been activated. But nice, what you want if you don't want to do that, or if you don't have markers or whatever, the game, you just flip it over and you see it's like a grayed out. That we can keep track of. With the tanks, it's less important, but when it comes to things like infantry, you're going to want to keep track of which have moved and what they've done. So I just have like little markers. But again, you can just flip them over, and the opposite side will be a grayed out side. So that's nice. All right, 2 and 3. So let's see. Let's go ahead with the 2. So that'll be a infantry move or fire. No one's available for fire, and we're going to be maneuvering right now. So let's go ahead and move. Let's move our veteran infantry here, which has the first lieutenant stacked with him, and he just stays stacked with them. We can have a movement of 4, and that's pretty much every infantry, I believe, is a unit of 4. Every allied or American infantry, anyway. Clear hexes, obviously, are 1. So, well, should we go to the road first? Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So not too far, but let's just move it up. So remember, we got to get this objective here. So, and I wouldn't mind getting into some cover here before all these infantry start getting too close to us. So, all right, now with our 3, we can move our fire 1 unit. We're going to activate this veteran here. Let's go ahead and move him 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it for our activations. So we've used up all of our order dice. So now we did the activate unit step, and now reserves check. Now, at the end of turn 3 or later, you can roll a 1d6. If you get a 6, the Americans get an infantry at this blue hex over here. So, but it's only turn 1, so no roll. All right, that's it for the American turn. So now we'll go over to the German turn. First, you would adjust any status. So if they had any markers on them, remember I talked about the panic markers, those would be possibly taken off. If a German unit has a low supply marker, it would be removed if unless they're panicked. If they are alert, if they have it on alert and it's on them, it just stays that. It does not get reduced or changed. So, all right, German infantry, let's go ahead and draw action cards for them. So what I usually do is I do the action cards for the units that are closest, and I start marking them off. So let's start off. So we have our veteran unit right here. Looks like he's kind of the closest. So remember, infantry first, then the machine gun team, then the tanks last, those panzers. So now we go ahead and flip her over. So we have our veteran here. He's calm. Remember, no markers means calm. Moves up to 2 hexes. Hopefully you guys can see that. Moves up to 2 hexes, change to alert. So let's see. First of all, we'll look at the number up here. Oops, this is the one we're activating. We'll look at the 12. Are there any 12s? You might want to look. Sometimes I'll leave the Americans kind of if there's a bunch of them. So you can see we have an 11, 10, 1, 2, 4, 9. No 12s. So he's just going to target the closest American unit, which will be that veteran right here. So he moves 2 hexes closer. And we're going to go ahead and put an alert marker on him. And we can go ahead and put either you flip them over to show the grayed outside, or I like to just put the little cubes on there. So now you can see on this action card, there is no ammunition. So this supply, flip it over, out of ammo. That marker, if he had fired, he would go out of ammo, but he didn't fire at all. So we can ignore that. All right, now we're going to do that for each of them, each of the units. So here's another infantry. He has LT in the top, so obviously he's going to target our lieutenant. Ooh, scary. Coming for him. So let's go ahead and flip him for an action. Calm, move to 2 hexes, change to alert. So you go here, so here, and then here. And now the game, it doesn't tell you, okay, move this hex, that hex, that hex. What it says, the rulebook says, is like, hey, we want you to be smart. At least there is an element of playing it for the best, right? So instead of, if there's a choice between moving into a woods hex and moving out into the open, he's probably going to move into the woods hex because that gives better cover. So kind of you have to play it a little bit smart for the Germans. You know, there's some element of you not being told exactly what to do. You do have to make some decisions, especially when it comes to the hex-to-hex movement, and that's common in hex-to-hex games. Not all of them do that, but I think the majority of solitaire ones do. So, all right, let's check this veteran here. Calm, move over to 2 hexes, change to alert. Let's see, he's probably closest to, well, this veteran down here, honestly. So 1, 2, and now he's going to change to alert. And we'll continue on. This infantry here. Calm, no action. So he actually didn't do anything. He just sits there. And you're going to get stuff like that sometimes, especially with under the calm part of it. Basically, I guess he doesn't see a threat. Or he didn't get the proper orders. Who knows? All right, this infantry here. And you can see he has an 11, which we have an 11 down here. So he's going to head down that way if he gets an activation. Calm, no action. So he stays. This infantry here. Calm, move up to 1 hex, fire if in range. Let's see, a 7. We don't have any 7s on there, so he's just going to move. He's going to move towards the mortar because it looks like that's the closest. Move up to 1 hex. And then fire. He's not in range of anybody. Remember, he only has a range of 3 there. So, all right. And finally, the last infantry here. Flip for him. And he's looking at a 5. Are there any 5s? No 5s. So he'll just go to the closest, which at this point will probably be, and let's say I send him to the mortar as well. Calm, move up to 2 hexes, change to alert. So he'll move here and here. And then change to alert. All right, that is it for the German infantry activation. Let's do the German MG42. He fires at the closest American unit. And then he has a chart and it explains it on there's a cheat sheet or a player aid. Basically, you know, he's trying to look at the veterans or the first lieutenant. Now from here, line of sight is pretty standard in this game, right? Blocked by wood, so you can't fire here. He also now is blocked by another German unit here, so he can't fire through his own buddies. So he's basically can't do anything right now. All right, now we go to the tanks. Both German tanks, what they're going to do is if there's an American tank on the board, they're going to go towards it and they're going to fire. They're basically going to ignore the infantry as long as there's American tanks on the board. If there are no American tanks, they'll start shooting at your infantry. So, both activate. He has a range of 5. It's not on the counter, but basically the Panzer IV has a range of 5, and then the Tiger tank, which is not in this scenario, has a range of 7 hexes. So the range of 5 hexes, he's obviously going to target our tank here. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So what he's going to do, he's going to move 1 hex towards. They just move 1 hex. Remember, we get to move 2. They only get to move 1. And that's it, though. They get to either move or fire. They don't get to do both in the same turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's within range now, but he's also within range of us. So if we get a 5, we could be able to hit him next turn. And then this Panzer over here, he's going to go ahead and continue down towards our tank over there. That's the closest one. All right. That is it for the unit activation. Now we have surprise reinforcements. So you roll 1d6. If you get a 6, the Germans get a surprise reinforcement. Roll a 3. And that's either, I believe, either an AT gun, anti-tank gun that pops up here, or usually it's like an infantry that appears here, like in the American rear, basically, the equivalent of the rear. So, all right. That is it for turn 1. Let's go ahead and grab all these little cubes off. That's why I also like it. I think it's easier to grab than, say, flipping them, especially when you have markers on there. It can be a little tedious to flip them over and over when you move the markers aside, but I don't know. That's how I like it anyway. So, all right, turn 1. So let's go to turn 2 here. All right, we'll start with enemy spotted check. Only if there's 5 or less Germans, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're good for a while here until we start, knocking these German units out of the game. So, orders phase, just like before. Roll that 5d6. Whoa, I got dice flying all over the place. That's way too many 6s. I don't even want 6s. Well, I mean, 1 6 is fine, but I don't need that many 6s. Oh, no. All right, so we'll switch. So we had 3 6s and 2 1s. We'll switch one of the 6s to a 5 so we can activate our tank. Yeah, this was a kind of a terrible roll, honestly. So the double 6s are nothing. They're no good. So we can use 1 6, though, to do a, let's see, covering fire. For our units, can they... Oh, no, no one has line of sight, do they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or, like, in range. Oh, man. This was, like, a terrible orders roll, guys. So here's the deal. Remember, 2 6s could be sniper fire or spotting. We don't have snipers, so that's useless. 1 6 is a covering fire, which is fire and move adjacent. Unfortunately, nobody is eligible for that. So our 6s are a complete waste. 5 will be fine. The ones, we can do an assault into adjacent hex with 2 of them, or an attach a medic. Well, none of our units are adjacent to the German unit, and the medic doesn't apply because we don't have anyone panicked. Therefore, they are wasted. All we can do is move our tank. That is terrible roll, but we'll do it. It is what it is. That's how it works, I guess, sometimes. Something tells me this game may not turn out the way my last one did. So anyway, let's go ahead. So we got one of our tanks can move or fire. I would say our Sherman here, that Panzer's in range. Let's fire at it, which also is an opportunity for me to explain how it works. So, what you do when tanks are firing at tanks, there's no 2-hit numbers on them. It's very simple. Now, there is a slightly different process for us shooting them versus them shooting us, but I'll explain that when the time comes. So we are shooting a German unit. Our Panzer here is shooting, or our Sherman is shooting Panzer. We have a bunch of chits here for tank hits. We're going to go ahead and reach in and draw from there. Boom, we got a crosshairs. We got a bullseye here. So that means we got a hit. So we go ahead and throw it back in the cup, mix it up a little bit. And now we have a tank damage cup. Go ahead and draw from there. Hoping good, hoping good. Destroyed, 10 morale. Fantastic. Some of them will be things like bounced. So then your round basically bounced off the armor. So even though it was a hit, didn't do any damage. This one destroyed, and we gained 10 morale. Let's mark our morale up to 10. And let's go ahead and destroy this German unit. Now, what I like to do, just to keep track of it, set it over here. Because for every 2 German units you destroy, you get a supply marker you can use for when you... I'll put that back in the cup. For when you your units go out of supply. So, all right, beautiful. Took care of that. Unfortunately, that was it. So all of these infantry here are just still chilling. They're not able to get closer, which is probably going to kind of hurt us here as we get into the next couple turns. Because first few turns, usually you want your guys moving as many infantry as possible and closing up on, you know, these buildings, the woods, this objective. I mean, you want to get into a good defensive position so you can start, you know, start fighting in a good position. But it is what it is. So that was it for our units, and it's turn 2, not turn 3, so we're not going to check for reserves yet. We'll get that next turn. Let's go on to the German turn. All right. Go ahead and adjust any statuses. Nope, they're all fine. Go to activate the German infantry. Let's go ahead and start off with this little bad boy down here, this veteran. And remember, he's going for the lieutenant here. Flip him over. He is on alert. So now we look at alert. Fire if in range. He's not in range, and he doesn't have line of sight, so you can't fire. Move up to 2 hexes, then assault if possible. Now, what he's going to do, he's going right to lieutenant, so he can go ahead and move in the woods and then move in his building. It's not adjacent yet, so he cannot assault anybody. But that is it, and he's in a great position there, starting next turn to start shooting at us. Although, he now is in our line of sight, so we may be able to inflict some damage on him. We'll see. All right, that was him. Let's go ahead and check. What do we got here? This veteran, a 12. Was he going for anyone in particular? I think he's just moving to that veteran because he's close. Let's check for him. Alert. Fire if in range. Again, he's not in range and his line of sight's blocked. Move up to 2 hexes. Assault if possible. So just like the other one. So he's going to go move and then move. He is closing in on the veteran right here. Our veteran, I should say. All right, and then we have this veteran right here. Where is he going? He's kind of wandering off in the middle of nowhere. I think he's going to the... He's either going to the mortar or... who was he closest to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or did he have a number? 14? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think he's gonna need help out down here. So since it's even, you could roll off. You could do whatever. I'm gonna have him continue down this way actually. So, all right, let's check for him. Alert. Hit the dirt. Fire a +1 on a die roll. Let's see. He's got no one he can fire at right now. So, move up to 1 hex, fire if in range. He's going to move that way. So, move down into the objective hex here. No one's in range. He can't fire. So, go ahead and work him off. He can't do anything to that M4 Sherman, luckily for us. All right, let's check this infantry here. And he's moving probably down this way as well. Calm. Move up to 1 hex, fire if in range. Obviously, there's no one to fire at, so let's move him. This infantry here. A 2 or 11, excuse me. So he's going down here to that veteran. Calm, no action. So just, I think last term is what happened too. This infantry here, a number 5, which is nobody. But he's going to continue. He'll go to the mortar. He's definitely going to the mortar. So he's an alert. Assault if in range. He's not. Move to 3 hexes. Change to calm. All right. So he'll go 1, 2, 3. He's in the building. We're going to take off that alert counter. Mark him so he's calm now, but he's closing in on the mortar. Not good for us. Probably should put an infantry up there to help out the mortar, huh? Oh, well. And then this infantry here will activate. Oops, I want you guys to be able to see it. So he's he's 7, so there's no 7s on here. He's calm. Move up to 1 hex, fire if in range. He'll also go towards this way. Boom. No firing, so he does not go to alert if fired. All right, that's it for the German infantry. So let's do the MG42 team. There is no one for him to attack, no one that's in range, so he does nothing. And the German tank. It was tanks, but we blew one of them up. So, Panzer up here. He's going to move towards the Sherman, continue 1 hex at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he's in range now. Well, I guess if we roll a 5, guess what our Sherman's going to be doing next turn? All right, let's check for surprise reinforcements. Remember, roll a 1d6, check for a 6. We got a 3, so no surprise reinforcements for the Germans. All right, take these off. All right. That is it for the turn, right? Yep, that's it. So we are moving on to turn 3. Okay, enemy spotted check. Again, there are more than 5 German units, so no need to roll. So our order phase. Please, let's get better orders this turn. We need some, we need to be able to get in some combat here, so. All right, slightly better. All right, 6-6. 2, 4, 2, 1. Okay. All right. So, which I think, so we can't do any, we can do, oh, we can do covering fire. I know what we're gonna do. Okay. So let's switch one of these 6s to a 5. Okay. Perfect. All right. Excuse me. Try not to sneeze. It sounded like a yawn, but I was trying not to sneeze. I'm gonna sneeze on camera. All right. So the 6, we're gonna be able to do a covering fire, which definitely looks like we can do that. Let's see. Yeah, we could do it here if we wanted. Let's not focus on that right now, though. Let's do the 5 first. Let's do the tanks. Let's use our 5. Activate our Sherman here, shooting at that Panzer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, it's in range. So remember the deal. Go ahead and draw a tank hit chit. Boom, 1 crosshair, so we did get a hit. And then draw for damage. Bounced. Oh, see, that's what I was talking about. Bounced. So no effect. Damn, that means he's going to get to fire at us on his turn. Ugh, brace for impact. All right. So that was the Sherman we did. Let's see. We have a 4. Which what can a 4 do? Conduct mortar. If you have 2 of them, you can conduct mortar fire. Oh, but we only have the 1, so that's wasted as well. Bummer. 2 and a 1. 1 is attach a medic. That's useless as well. Not as good as I thought. I thought we did okay, but eh. All right, so let's do this 2 here. We can do a mover fire, right? Yeah. Oh, but I want to do, so I want to fire. He's in a building, isn't he? He's out in the open. We got to fire at this guy right here. So what we'll do is, and 2 is move or fire. Okay. All right, let's activate this veteran right here using the 6, which will do the covering fire. Fire, move adjacent unit up to 2 hexes. So he's going to fire at this German here in the clearing. So let's do combat. It's fire combat, first one, I believe. So remember, he's a veteran, so he's a 5+ on the unit. And he is in open terrain. So very simple. As a veteran, we're rolling. We get a +1 at being a veteran. So we're going to roll a 1d6 with a +1. 1 + 1 is 2. We miss. What you do, though, also, as part of it, I should have done this part first, how anticlimactic. So he's a 5+. He's in open terrain. You flip a cover card over. You look where it says cover hex or clear hex. He's not in a cover hex. That would be woods or a building. He's in a clear hex. So he gets light cover +1. So his 5+ becomes a 6+ to hit. So we would have had to roll a 5 with our +1. So we would get at least a 6 to hit. Except the only difference is, or exception is that a natural 6 always hits. So even if it requires more, if you roll a natural 6, it's going to be a hit. Anyway, we missed, unfortunately. So veteran unit failed. Go ahead and mark him off. And then the our veteran unit here gets to go ahead and move 2 hexes. He's going to go ahead and move up to, let's see. Yeah, he's going to move up to this hex right here. And with our 2, we're going to fire with him. So the veteran here is going to fire at the veteran that's in the house. Now he's in a house, so it's going to have good cover. So it's a 5+. Flip over cover card. Let's do this first this time. Okay, so cover hex only light cover +1, so it didn't work out as well for him. So 6+. All right, so we have to roll. We have to roll at least. What do we have to roll? Well, we have a veteran, so he gets a +1, and the first lieutenant is stacked with him. That gains another +1, so it's a total of +2. What do we need? A 6 or higher. So as long as we roll a 4 or higher, we're gonna get a hit. Let's do it. Boom, a 5. That's a hit. So our veteran unit hits the veteran that's in the house. Very simple. We have another cup of markers. Go ahead and draw a chit from here, and we'll determine what happens. Boom. All right. He is destroyed, and we gain 5 morale. So the morale moves up from 10 to 15, and then he is, put that back in the cup, he is eliminated. Perfect. And we'll go ahead and put him in our little stack. And now remember, every 2 eliminated German units, we get a supply counter. So we'll go ahead and grab a supply counter because we eliminated 2, and we'll put him. Oops, there's already 1 over here. I don't want that. Whatever. And 1 down here. Boom. So we have keep track of it. All right. And that was they activated. Now there's no advance after combat, anything like that, right? At this tactical level, you don't do that. The only thing would be an assault. Obviously, you move into the hex. Assault. If you win, you're going to stay in the hex. If not, you get kicked back out. So, all right. I think that is it. Yeah, that's not too bad. So we've eliminated a tank and infantry so far. Not too bad. That's it for the American turn, though. Now it's time for the German response. Oh, no, wait. We get to do our reserves check here. It is turn 3 or later. So let's go and roll a 1d6 and a 3, so no reserves show up. All right, on to the Germans. The thing you would do here, I'm trying to look. Yep, there's no one close enough yet. So looking at the just status there's also panicked status, which would be if a German unit is within 2 hexes of one of your tanks, they become panicked. Not applicable right now. They're all far away. So now the German infantry, let's go ahead and activate them. Let's see. Let's activate this veteran right here because he's super close. He is going to go after the first lieutenant first because that's his priority. So because he doesn't have right, there's no 12, right? Right. So he's going to go after him. Let's go ahead and see what he does. Alert. Hit the dirt. Fired a +1 on a die roll. Okay. Bummer. But then he'll be out of supply when he fires after finish firing. But he does get a fire off. So he gets a +1. And he's a veteran, so he already gets a +1. So that's a total of +2. So we are out in the open. So unfortunately, we get no cover. We don't get to flip a cover card. That's just for the Germans. So he's gonna get a +2, 5+ to hit. So as long as he rolls a 3, he's gonna hit. So if it's a 1 or 2, it's a miss. Anything else, it's a hit. 5, he gets a hit on us. Now for Americans, though, thankfully our guys are sturdier than the Germans, at least for this game. So we get to go ahead and just put an alert counter on our stack. If we get hit again, the alert becomes a panic. If we get hit again, then we're hurting and we are eliminated. But that was it. Okay. All right, and then let's check this infantry right here, this veteran. Where's he going? Oh, he's going to continue down this way for sure. I think, right? Was he got a 14? There's no 14s? Yeah. So flip, he's on alert. Assault if unit's in range. No assault. Move it to 3 hexes. Change to calm. So he's going to go 1, 2, move adjacent to our unit, and then he'll go calm. All right, let's check for this infantry here. Oh, I don't know. I flipped the cover card over. My bad. Calm. Move up to 1 hex. Fire if in range. Change to alert if unit fired. So he's going to move 1 hex, and then he is definitely in range. 1, 2, 3. He's in range of the mortar. So he's going to go ahead and fire at the mortar. Mortar takes a 4+ to hit, although he is in the woods, which the terrain does give us an automatic bonus, which is a +1 to hit. So our 4+ becomes 5+. So he will have to roll. And he gets no bonuses, regular infantry. You have to roll at least a 5 to hit us. And he gets a 5. So we'll go ahead and put our alert counter on the mortar. And we'll mark him off. And then what was it again? If he changes to alert if fired. So, which he did. All right, and then we'll check, let's see, this infantry right here. He'll continue to the mortar as well. I almost put the cover card again. Calm, no action. So he just sits there. And we'll check this infantry here. I'm going to shuffle our cards. All right, so looking a little I don't like the fact our first lieutenant is out here kind of by himself. I mean, he's got a veteran here supporting, but we definitely got to get some more infantry up there. This infantry, maybe one of these veterans, move him over. This is going to take, we just haven't rolled very well on getting our infantry activated. We've been able to activate our tanks a bunch, but we've not been able to activate our infantry very well. So hopefully that'll change. So this infantry here is calm, no action. And the next infantry, he was calm. Move up to 2 hexes, change to alert. And he's going after, remember, 11, which is, I believe, down here. So it's 2 hexes. Yep, 1, 2. And he goes to a alert. All right, that's it for the German infantry. Yep. So now we do the MG42 team again. No units within line of sight or range. So he does nothing. And then the German tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to fire at our Sherman. No, this will be a little different. You'll see. So he does draw from the tank hit cup. Miss. All right, sweet. So got a miss. So we dodge that bullet quite literally. All right, that's it. Surprise reinforcement. Let's roll for that. Boom, nothing. All right, sweet. That is the end of turn 3. All right. All right, yeah, the end of turn 3. So we're going to go on to turn 4 here. Enemy spotted. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's still a bunch of German units. No need to roll for reinforcements for them. So our orders phase, and let's hope we get some more, like, 3s. How about a bunch of 3s? We could use a whole bunch of 3s. Oh, okay, what do we got here? All right, this isn't too bad, maybe. All right. Actually, this isn't too bad at all. So the 2s will be move or fire, so we're definitely going to be able to do some firing over here. That's what we're going to do. 5s, we can activate both of our tanks. And the 6, we may not be able to do the 6 as much, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's worry about that in a second here. So, let's see. I'm just trying to think of what to do exactly. Okay, yeah. Here's what we're going to do. First 5, let's go and activate our tank up here. Where is it? Right here. And shoot at the Panzer. So let's go ahead. And we're shooting again. We're within the same range. Basically, this little standoff right now. Boom. That's a hit. Found one of the crosshairs. So let's see. Let's see what we did. Boom. Bounced again. Are you kidding me? Ah. All right. No good there. Let's go ahead with our other 5. Let's activate our tank down here. Let's get him. Actually, dude, he could shoot right here, couldn't he? Oh, let's do that. So he's going to shoot some high explosive shells. Takes out the armor piercing, puts in high explosive. 1, 2, 3, 4. And shoots at this little veteran right here, chilling right here. Now, when a tank shoots at... he wasn't in the way, was he? He wasn't here, was he? No, he was here. Okay, there's a path. I just want to make sure. You get to roll 2d6 and take the highest die. So, what is he? So he's chilling here in an open hex. So let's check his cover for that veteran. Open is no cover whatsoever. So he's wide open. So 5 or higher to hit him. No bonuses or anything, but we have 2 dice to roll, at least a 5. Boom, we got a 5. Literally, boom. See what happens? Oh, actually, I think when you hit them with the tank, they're eliminated automatically. Let me double check. Double check, guys. I'm sorry. I know. Looking at the rulebook, so exciting. Okay, it doesn't say you do. I guess draw. Okay, all right. Because there is no effect in here, unfortunately. But let's hope we don't get it. I didn't jinx myself. Boom! Destroyed plus 10 morale. So we're at 15, so we're going up to 25. And he is destroyed. Very nice. All right. Ooh, beautiful. Okay. Let's see. So the 6, it is going to be wasted because we don't have 2 units adjacent that can do covering fire. So that's fine though. We do have 2 2s, so we can do move or fire. So first off, let's definitely do a fire here. I want our veteran with the first lieutenant to fire at this veteran here. Let's check his cover. Light cover, he's in a clear hex. Light cover is +1. So his 5+ becomes a 6+. So we just have to roll. Let's see, remember we're a veteran, so we had a +1, and the first lieutenant a +2, or another +1, so total +2. So all we need to roll is at least a 4. a 2. Ah, damn it. So, oops, that was one of these. Let's make sure to discard that and show that he was news. And our veteran here is going to fire at the veteran. He had a, well, so we're going to go ahead and use the 2. So let's start at the beginning here. Fire this veteran here with a +1 because he's a veteran. And we check the cover card again. He's in light cover, +1. So we're going to have to roll at least a 5. Ooh, a little sketchy. Let's see what we can do. 4. Man, could have used that for the other one. All right, so no effect. And that is it. Wish we had eliminated that veteran here with 2 shots at him, but sometimes the combat is kind of hard in this game for the infantry versus infantry because you have to roll so high. So, all right, that's it for activating units. Now we do a reserves check. So 1d6, 4, so no extra infantry. And on to the German turn. All right, first off, adjust status. No one's within nothing to adjust. Nope, nothing to adjust. Now, German infantry, let's see what they do. We have our veteran right here. Obviously, he's going to probably be doing something against our veteran and first lieutenant. Go and flip. He's calm. Move it to 1 hex. Fire if in range. Change your alert if you're fired. So he's just going to fire. And it'll give him an alert status as well. So he's going to go ahead and fire on us. Let's see. What is it again? We are in the open, which is a bummer. And there's no other, like, we don't have any other cover or anything like that, unfortunately, for us. And even just because we have a first lieutenant doesn't change anything. So it's just our veteran is a 5+ to hit. So he has to roll at least a 5, except he's a veteran, so he gets +1, so at least a 4. 1, he misses. Perfect. And he does change to alert because he did fire. All right. All right, now we'll do, let's see, this infantry up here. See what he does. Alert status. Assault if in range. It's not. Move up to 3 hexes. Change to calm. 1, 2. So you can move adjacent to the mortar. This infantry here. Calm, no action. Oh, no, he's not calm. He has an alert on him. I don't know what I'm thinking. Assault if in range. No one's in range for assault. Move over to 3 hexes. Change to calm. So remember, he's going down here. So we'll do 1, 2, 3. Move it to this building here. And then he does change to calm, right? Yep. Yeah, we got to get some fire on those guys. This is bad. All right, and then the infantry here. Calm, no action. And infantry here is calm. Move up to 1 hex, fire if in range. Change to alert if fired. He'll move here. No one's in range. He can't fire, so we're going to put a marker on him. All right, that's it for the German infantry. Now the German MG42. Once again, no one's in range. It'll happen soon, but not yet. Eventually, we're going to have to move up here. We're going to have to deal with it. But right now, he can't do anything. German tanks. There's 1 tank left, a German tank right here. He's going to go ahead and fire at our American unit, at our Sherman. Boom, that's a hit. So here's how it works. So he got a hit, crosshairs. Now what we can do, and I guess I should have, it was 1 crosshair. So there on these hit, you'll have, some of them will have 1 crosshair, some will have 2 crosshairs. Depending on what you get, which we got 1 crosshair, determines what you can roll for saving with the armor. If you only get one crosshair, we have to roll a 1d6 to see if our armor saves a shot, and we have to use a 5 or 6 prevents a shot. If we had 2 crosshairs, only the 6 would prevent a shot. So we got 1 crosshair, so we need to roll a die, and a 5 or 6 will prevent, basically saying our armor deflects the shot. A 3, so we do get hit. Now, it still could be a bounced result, hopefully, right? That's what we want. But go ahead and check. And bailout. 5 morale. Loss of 5 morale. That sucks. Okay, so basically, so we lose our tank. We lose 5 morale, which every time you lose morale, or generally, the German reserve marker goes up. So it goes up here from 0 to 5. Lost 5 morale. The tank is eliminated. So bummer. Bummer for us. Big time bummer. So, all right. That sucks. And we're losing the morale is almost worse. So, all right, I think we're good though. Yeah, that's it for the Germans now. Surprise reinforcement. Let's roll for that. A 4, so no surprise reinforcements. All right, this is the end of turn 4. We're gonna move on to turn 5. All right, let's start turn 5 here. American turn. Enemy spotted check. There are more than 5 German units, so no need to roll on that. Orders phase. Let's hope for some good orders here. All right. Ooh, we got some great orders. Oh, this was a hell of a roll. This is awesome. All right, so look at all these 3s and 2s. That's a whole lot of moving and firing for our American units. Love it. All right, and then a 5, so we get to activate our last tank too. Perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's see. Can he shoot him? Oh, he can he? I have to do that. Let's do that, actually. So, all right, so let's go ahead. Let's activate our tank first. He is going to go ahead and shoot at the German infantry here. If you check line of sight, he goes along the hex line. He's not blocked by him because it's along the hex line. Boom, he can hit him in the building. All right, remember, you roll 2d6, and then what you do, he is in cover, but you use the clear cover if you're fighting with a tank. So no cover, the equivalent. Even though he's in a building, maybe, you know, let's be honest, the tank is firing at him. The building, this little building on the countryside, probably doesn't really help too much. So maybe provide a little bit of concealment, but not a whole lot of real cover. So 2d6, it's a regular infantry, 4+ to hit. So as long as we get a 4 with one of them. A 2 and a 1, are you serious? Oh my God, wasted. Oh, what a wasted turn. That's a bummer. All right, I'm like bummed on that. That's too bad. Okay, all right. So let's see what else we can do here. Let's go ahead and let's fire this veteran towards this unit right here. What's another veteran, huh? So we'll use this 2 here to fire. Should we move and fire? No. Let's just do that. Probably should try to move, shouldn't we? Closer? Yeah, here's what we'll do. So take the 2 back. We'll use a 3, which is move and fire. So what we're gonna move here and then here. So we're gonna move adjacent. 1, 2. Now we're going to go ahead and fire from here. It doesn't change our fire marker, but I want to get us a little closer to the objective and stuff. That's all I want to do. So, all right, so we get to fire. We are veteran units. We got a +1. He is in the middle of open here, so we'll check for cover. +1. Here we got a 5+, so he gets a 6+. So we have to roll at least a 5. Boom, a 6. That is a hit. Beautiful, baby. All right, let's check for what actually happens to him. Boom, destroyed +1. +10, excuse me, yeah, I don't get +1. +10, so we go from 20 to 30 morale, and he is destroyed. Love it. And because it's a 4th unit, we get another supply counter. Yeah, we get a couple of them now. All right. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So that means, let's see what I want to do here. So we know we have 2, 3, 3, right? Yep, so we use one of our 3s for that. Oh, let's mark them off, though, so we don't try to use them again. Let's do a, well, I feel like we get targeted if we did that. It's risky. There's a couple things we could do. So we could use a 3 on our veteran here. We could move into the woods. The problem is it puts us adjacent to the machine gun, so he can get to fire on us. So say we moved here and here, it would be 1, and then the woods is 2, so 2, 3, total of 3, which we could do it, because remember we have a movement of 4. But then we'd be adjacent to, we'd kind of between these 2. We'd have to shoot him. We'd have to hope for the best. Do get a couple pluses though, and hey, they say fortune favors the bold, right? So let's do it. So let's use a 3. So remember that's a move and fire. Activate our veteran first lieutenant. Let's go. Go charging through here. Charge up into the woods, and then they're gonna go ahead and fire at the MG42 team. Veteran and a first lieutenant. So that's a +2. He's at 5+. And his cover, he's in the woods, so he gets cover hex, hard cover +2. Oh, man. All right, so that means puts him at a 7+, which we have +2, right? 5, 6, 7. So as long as you roll a 5. Oh, man. So 5 or 6 always hits anyway. So at least a 5 or a 6, and we'll hit him. Let's see what happens. 5. Beautiful. So that's a 7, modified 7, so that does hit him. Go ahead and check to see what happens. Destroyed +10 morale. Beautiful. Puts us at 40. 40? Oh my gosh. That's actually the victory condition. So he is destroyed. Oh, that feels good. All right. Up there. I'm feeling good right now. Yeah, baby. All right. We need to get someone to objective hacks. We're not going to be able to this turn, though. Man, we could win it, too. that veteran, what did he move? Could I have moved him there? Well, I guess he moved and fired, didn't he? So it didn't add. No use looking at it like that. So let's go ahead and put him here. Let's go ahead and mark it off. Mark it off before we get too excited. All right, so we have a 2 and a 3. So we can do another move and fire, and we can do a move. So let's do the move with this veteran right here. Let's see. What would it be? Should we do move and fire? What can you do? 1, 2, 3, 4. Would you be able to fire at anybody? Yeah. 3. See, if he was, where would it be? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, guys, I'm checking to see. So if I move this veteran, what I'm trying to think is, the best option here. So if I move the veteran with the fire, it's got to be the veteran, right? Because he gets +1 on his firing. So he can move 4 hexes in clear, so 4 movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4, which would put him, and he has a range of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So he wouldn't be able to hit anybody anyway, but he'd be that much closer to the objective. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put him here, though? Oh, he's less likely to get hit. Let's do that. He's going to move up under cover. So what he's going to do... 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no. So I could probably go after him. But I don't... I know, guys. I know. It's a little tense. Here's the deal. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what to do. So what we'll do is... let's go ahead and do... move and fire with the veteran. But let's move up this way. 1, 2, 3. We'll stop here because we're going to fire at that infantry there. So he is an open cover, clear cover, no cover. So clear, I should say. Perfect. So no modifiers. 4+ to hit him. We're veterans. We get a +1. So we just need to roll a 3 or higher. 6. Boom. Got him. Go ahead and check for damage. D +5, so we gain 5 morale, and he is destroyed. Over there, and we get another supply marker. Woo! It's pretty. All right. So that took the... Remember, he was attacking our mortar? Not anymore. Beautiful. And now with our last die here for movement, let's go ahead and activate this infantry here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and put him here. At this point, we've eliminated enough for the morale. We just got to get to the objective and hold it through an entire turn. And then we will, fingers crossed, not to jinx it, win. All right, beautiful. Okay, that's it for activating our units. So check our reserves. Let's roll. 1d6, we get another infantry. 4, so no extra infantry. On to the German turn. On to the German turn. Okay, so adjust their statuses. Anything to worry about here with status? Nope, not right now. Well, they are going to get reinforcements next turn, though, so we definitely got to move. Just looking at the... Because we've eliminated enough of their units, they're going to get reinforcements next turn. But anyway, I'm thinking ahead a little bit. Let's get to our activations here. So this infantry is going to activate. He's going to go after our first lieutenant there. Let's see what he does. He's calm. No action. And that does apply. The only exception would be if the action card says something like movement, but he's adjacent to an American, it won't move. It'll attack. It'll do a fire. I should say fire, because there's fire and assault, right? He would do a fire. However, with no action, that literally means no action. Maybe he's scared. Maybe he's like, film's overwhelmed. We just watched a bunch of his buddies get mowed down by the Americans. So maybe he's like, I'm just gonna hide in this house for a while, and just try to survive. But that's a mistake on his part, because I don't think he's gonna survive too much longer. But we'll see. This infantry here, see what he does. Calm, move up to 2 hexes, change to alert. He's definitely going to move. He's going to move. The closest is our veteran first lieutenant, so he's going to go ahead and move into that hex, and then he will. Let's see, what does it say? Move up to 2 hexes, change to alert. I don't know if I said calm or not, but it's alert. All right. And then this infantry up here, see what he does. Move it to 1 hex, fire if in range. Now, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see who he goes after. That infantry or 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's either be that infantry or our first lieutenant. Let's go ahead and roll just to see. We'll do odd. He goes after the infantry. Even goes down here. That's an even, so he's going to move down this way. Move to 1 hex. Fire if in range. 1, 2, 3. He actually is in range to fire, so he's going to go ahead and fire. We are in the woods, so we get a +1 to our defense. So instead of a 5+, he'll take a 6+ to hit. He is a simple infantry, so no modifier. 4, so he does miss. Whew. Good call. Good luck there. All right, and then just the German tank here. he is going to be trying to get our tank. So he's going to continue down towards our tank. So he's going to move 1 hex. He's basically ignoring the infantry at this point. Whew. All right, let's go ahead and let's see what we got here. That was German tank. That's it. Surprise reinforcements. Let's see if they get any. 5. Whew. Nope. Only a 6. That is the end of turn 5. All right. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so what we'll do here, move on to turn 6. Beginning at turn 6, the American turn, enemy spotted check. If there are 5 or less Germans, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 5 or less. So we're going to go ahead and roll a 1d6. Check that chart in the book, remember. Rolled a 2, which means they get 3 German infantry. So go ahead and grab up 3 infantry. They're going to go ahead and spawn around that red spot here. Remember, let's go ahead and roll for the first one. A 4 right here. Next one is a 2, so right here. And finally, a 1. Where's that? Oh, right in the middle. Okay. All right, and that is it for enemy spotted part. Now we go into our rest of our turn, so the orders phase. All right, this could be good. This could be good. All right, let's do a couple things here. I'm trying to think what exactly we want to do. So let's go ahead and do move and fire. We're definitely gonna do that. Let's do that first. So let's do the 3. We're gonna use the 3, and we're gonna move our veteran onto the objective. And then he's gonna fire, and he's gonna fire at, let's see, he's gonna fire at this infantry right here. Yeah, let's do that. Cover, check for cover. He's in clear, so light cover +1. 4+ becomes a 5+, and then we'll get a +1. So roll at least a 4. Roll a 4. That's a hit. Let's see what happens. Boom. Destroyed +10. Right there. Bam. So we go from 45 to 55 morale. He is destroyed. Beautiful. All right. And we're going to sit on the objective because we have 40+ morale. We have the objective now. If we can survive to the end of the turn, we will win the scenario. Ooh, fingers crossed. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Oh, and then with the adjusting the die rolls, I didn't do it. I forgot to do it because I was so excited. So really what I was going to do was I was going to adjust one of these. I was going to adjust the 5 to a 4. So we'd have 2 4s so we could do a mortar. Let's do that. Normally I wouldn't do that because I would just say like I kind of, I messed up. You can't go back, right? That whole thing, you can't go back. Well, I do want to show you guys how the mortar works. So let's go ahead and do the mortar anyway. All right, so say I'd adjusted one of those 5s to a 4. Let's do a mortar strike. So the mortars, it can be spotted by the first lieutenant or by the mortar's line of sight himself. Now he's over here, so he usually doesn't have a lot of great line of sight, but our first lieutenant right here can spot, and he's going to go ahead and spot right here. Boom. So what you do, first you see if the mortar can range in. So you roll a 1d6. If you get a 3 or higher, he ranges in. Excuse me, I think it's 4 or higher. You got a 5, so he ranges in properly. So we know he's going to be able to shoot. So he's going to shoot at this infantry right here. Targets don't draw cover cards, and you roll 2d6. So even though he's in the woods, no cover, mortars are coming in hot. 2 and a 4. He's at 4+, so it is a hit. And then also, if he's hit, he's automatically destroyed. You don't have to draw the damage counter. He's destroyed, and I gain 5 morale. So go from 55 to 60, and he is eliminated. That is great luck for us. Now, again, maybe, honestly, if I was playing by myself and I didn't want to show you guys how it works as part of, like, the tutorial part, I maybe would have just... Oh, another double spy. I maybe would have said, hey, I missed a chance because I got all excited and whatever. But I did want to show you guys how the mortar works. So, super powerful if you can get 2 4s to do it. All right. Let's do the 1 I think is useless right now. Yeah, we don't have anyone panic, so that's not going to apply. And we have our 5, so we can activate our tank. He's going to go ahead and move 2 hexes this way, try to get up towards that tank, towards the objective. But that's it. Okay. I think that's it for us. We do our activate units. We already did them. Reserve check. What to do? A 1, so no reserve infantry. Now on to the German turn. Now can they push us out of the objective? We'll see. All right. And now, Actually, yeah, okay. So anyway, adjusting status. So no one is, oh, he's panicked right here because our tank is within two hexes, so he becomes panicked. All right, German infantry. I'm going to go ahead and draw for the panicked one first, see what happens. Panic, move up to 2 hexes. Now he's going to move away from that tank because he's panicked by it. So he's going to go ahead and move over here. Actually, he's going to move here. So he's adjacent to the building, and he's 1, 2, 3. He's at least 3 hexes away. I'll allow it. Why not? I'll allow it. Okay. And then that way he's more towards the objective and more towards this veteran here. Let's just do that. So, okay, then this infantry here, see what he does. Call him, move up to 1 hex, fire if in range. So he's gonna move 1, and he can fire at this the veteran. So he's gonna go ahead and fire at him, and he'll get an alert for being fired. Let's go and roll for the fire. So he is a regular infantry, fired at our veteran. Our veteran is in the middle of nowhere though, so 5+ to hit, no modifiers, but if he gets a 5 or higher, it's gonna be a hit. 2, miss. Lucky us. Real lucky, because that's the downside of this scenario specifically. This objective is clear cover, so like when your unit's sitting there, they're sitting duck. This infantry here, let's see what he does. He's calm, move to 2 hexes, change to alert. 1, 2, change to alert. Close enough to fire, but he doesn't have a fire order. And now this infantry here, move to 2 hexes, change to alert. Say 10, he's gonna go to him as well. 1, 2, and he will also change to an alert. All right, and now all we have left is, see, he already moved, right? Yeah, he did this panic movement, so we can remove him. And now our tank here, the tank, he wants to go after our main tank here, so he's gonna go ahead and move down, and that'll be trying to get closer to get a line of sight on our other tank. So, well, surprise reinforcements, but it ain't gonna matter. 5, nothing. So that is the end of turn 6. We have 60 morale, and we have possession of the objective hex. We win. Way to go. Woo. That was exciting. That was fun. Yeah, all right, there we go, man. So, like, the reason I'm kind of, like, surprised, so I did win my last game, but literally, like, the first, like, 6 games I played to this, I lost every time. And I kept getting overwhelmed by German units. They kept spawning, and then they'd come, and then I'd be like, and I thought that was going to happen again because remember, I rolled really poor for infantry activations for our orders. So I had like a couple infantry and the Germans were coming in, but we were able to overcome that, eliminate enough units, a ton of them actually. And I don't think, did we lose any? We lost, yeah, we did lose. We lost some, right? Did we lose? We lost one of our tanks. Is that it though? No infantry, only a tank. That's probably what it was. We had some lucky rolls, I'd say. Some lucky rolls, couple lucky draws with the cover cards and action cards that just allowed us to survive. So if we went into the next turn, which we're not because we won, damn it, it would be the enemy spotted check again because look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we would roll again, get more German infantry. So that's part of this game, right, is that German infantry kind of will keep spawning and they'll keep showing up. Maybe not the special units as much because, you know, they start with them and that's it. But those infantry will keep coming. So you need to get in there, get to an advantageous position, you know, get your objectives and try not to lose your guys. Because remember, you gain morale score for killing them. You lose morale score for being destroyed. Remember, we had lost morale when we had our tank eliminated. I think it was only 5, though, fortunately. But I've played games where I've lost multiple infantry. And so I'm gaining morale from eliminating German units. And then I'm losing it by losing my units. And then it's just an uphill battle. Because then you start losing your units. You're not getting as many reinforcements as the Germans. That's for sure. With that whole die roll thing of them popping up over here. So, all right, that was Scream, Aim, Fire. Little tutorial playthrough of the first scenario. Into the Countryside, I think is the name of the scenario. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will have a full overview and review coming as well, probably next week. But hope you guys enjoyed this look at the game. You should have a pretty good idea of how to play it based on now combined with, read the rule book, get that. It comes with a nice player aid, have that set up nearby. And then after watching this, I feel comfortable to say that based on the difficulty learned in this game, not that hard, you should have the game down and you should be able to play through it pretty quick, just like I did. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll say that one more time. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. I've got lots of great people subscribing, commenting, giving me thumbs up, and I really appreciate all of it. Love to hear from you guys. Anyone who wants to say anything about this game, you know, what you think of it. Are you going to order it? Please let me know below. But until next time, guys, later.